This is the dark truth behind Lil Tim beat his charge for taking out old block gangster King Von. How Lil Tim beat King Von murder charge. The passing of King Von, may he rest in peace, has got to be one of the wildest rap tales in recent times. It hit us like a bolt from the blue. Nobody saw it coming. I mean, the toughest and scariest gangster from the wild streets of Chicago getting taken out on the streets of Atlanta like some rookie gangster? Man, that's a plot twist no one could have seen coming. It's been a good 3 years since Von went to sleep 6 feet deep, and now the man who popped the trigger that fateful night is walking the streets of free man. Right after King Von got dropped in 2020, they bagged Timothy Lease, known on the block as Lul Tim, for spilling their blood. Lul Tim, who caught a couple of hot ones himself during the shootout, was healing up in the hospital getting stitched up when the cops came clinking cuffs onto his wrist. They slapped a nasty felony murder charge on him while he was still laid up, healing. The law claimed Lil Tim's arrest was the final nail in King Von's coffin as it closed the homicide case. Lil Tim spent a couple of weeks healing up in the hospital bed before the feds shipped him to Fulton County Jail. Dude tried to cop a bond, but they shut that down real quick. Lil Tim was locked up behind bars between November 2020 and March 2021 when he was released on a $100,000 bond. They slapped one of the ankle monitors on him and kept him locked up in the crib. The word on the block? He was placed on house arrest to keep him breathing while he waited for his day in court. Now Lil Tim's had his day in court, and guess what? He might not be the one who sent King Von to the other side. On August 20th, Lil Tim's lawyer, Noah Pines, dropped the bombshell. Those felony murder charges for allegedly taking out King Von, they got tossed out before they even hit the courtroom. Pines shot off a statement saying the case against Mr. Lease was dismissed prior to ever being indicted. Now, when a rapper like Lil Tim finally gets beat a murder charge that big, what's the first move he makes? Drop a diss track, homie. A few hours after the news hit them that the charges were gone, Lil Tim threw down a fresh banger, rolling out a music video with it. He hit up Instagram to make the announcement saying, "Let the stain out now, link in the bio, at Ace the Shooter." The video is straight up street. Lil Tim spitting bars in a grimy stairwell with his boy Quando Rondo, the one whose life he saved on the night Von met his fate. Lil Tim straight up rips on the track as he rapped, "Just got a collect call from New Pluto yesterday. He said he on the way. We steady catching plays." He lays it down as they cut the ankle monitor off. "I told him about my good news. I'm about to beat this case. I really came from the bottom feeling like I'm Drake." So Lil Tim's officially dodged that murder charge, but let's keep it 100. His street cred's probably in the red right now, and them old block goons will be hot on his tail. To top it off, there's a big old question mark hanging over the case. If Lil Tim didn't do it, then who the hell dropped King freaking Von? Who shot King Von? So it ain't no secret that Lil Tim's charges got tossed like a hot potato, and everybody and their cousin's cousin has been wondering who dropped the old block kingpin. But listen up, we about to do some good old detective work ourselves and figure out who dropped Von. Alright, let's play this back a bit. So King Von was rolling with his squad, Boss Top, MUWOP, and the homies posting up at the Monaco Who Jack Lounge in downtown Atlanta on that wild, fateful night. Word on the street was Big Unc Bossy was supposed to be there too, but he straight up ghosted.
The day he got killed, he hit me back and told me I'm on it, I'm finna knock it out. And he got killed that night, bro. Yeah.
Oh, he wanted you to come out to that lounge? The hookah lounge?
No, like the hookah lounge was telling me, come out. Everybody was trying to get me to come out. I was gonna go, bro, but, I had to make a move, bro.
Anyway, they were chilling, and then boom, one of Von's homies dropped Quando Rondo's location. Now Von talked like he had no beef with NBA YoungBoy in his 4K Trey game.
Nah, hell nah, ain't no rap beef. What? Ain't no rap beef, and it ain't no real beef unless somebody got shot or something, or unless somebody.
People told me you and YoungBoy was beefing or something like that.
I know they something about
what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
They be saying that a lot. It's like we got the same interests and holes, and then you know how the internet will try to make it.
The 600 Breezy was telling a whole different story.
YoungBoy even went out his way to diss Dirk's fiance, and Dirk dissed his YoungBoy favorite baby mama. So when we men here, when the pussy get involved, and especially the pussy that you care about and love and shit, that's like a super deal breaker.
So Von and his crew decided to take the party outside, ready to throw down with Quando Rondo and his homies. But youngin' Quando, he was still dreaming in his whip and got a clue what was about to go down. He claimed he was taking a nap, and out of nowhere, Von and his boys pulled up on him and checked him. Next thing he knew, fists were flying like it was a heavyweight championship match on the block. If you saw the surveillance footage, you think you stumbled into a UFC street edition. Then bam, shots rang out. But hold on tight, because this is where the story gets twisted. Right before those shots started popping, Popo rolled up like party crashers trying to stop the fight. The two cops would have never been able to break up the brawl, so homies called in for backup. Before help arrived, bullets were already flying. And guess what? The police report said one of the officers fired off a round too, and got hit by a bullet himself. Now peep this. Some witnesses swore Lil Tim wasn't even in the same place as Von when those shots went off. But the police, man, they were right next to Von when he dropped to the ground. Word on the streets that King Von might have caught a bullet from the Popo. Crazy, right? But check this. The police got their story twisted. They claimed the shootout started before they even showed up. So how did an officer get popped then? Since Lil Tim got cut loose, everybody has been asking who really took Von out. And guess who stepped up to the mic? Former old block queenpin, Lil Miss Asian Doll, had her 2 cents to share. Soon as Lil Tim's charges got kicked to the curb, Asian went on social media with, because the police said Tim ain't kill him, the police did. Was she calling out Atlanta PD for smoking her mess? Anyway, she sure as hell didn't want that smoke either, so she pulled that post down real quick. From the looks of it, no one knows who took out King Von, and Lil Tim is out on the streets again. Do you think the old block goons would let him roam the streets freely? Old block gangsters retaliate. The news of King Von's passing hit old block like a ton of bricks. His ops on 63rd might have been popping bottles, but for his real ones, it was a gut punch. You see, even on the night of the incident, Boss Top, who was right there with Von, got put off in cuffs. As they slapped the cuffs on him, he was heard asking one of his homies if Von was good. He couldn't bear to think that he had lost King Von, but at that time, Von hadn't breathed his last breath. But when King Von passed, the old block fam wasn't gonna let it slide. They cooked up some serious heat to make Quando Rondo's life feel like a pressure cooker. They planned some retaliation attacks to get Quando, and the first time they got him was at a convenience store in May 2021. Now before we get into the gritty details, you've got to know that Quando had a show on the night he was attacked. His first one since King Von's death. But the turnout was not so big. Word on the street was that old block gangsters had sent out their own kind of invites, warning folks not to roll up because things were gonna pop off. Well, nothing happened at the concert, but the heat came burning after. Soon as the show wrapped up, Quando and his crew decided to hit up a convenience store for some late night munches. And that's where it all went down. A blacked out SUV rolls in and dudes dressed in black started throwing some bullets Quando's way. Lucky for him, he didn't freeze. He hit the gas and got out of there real quick. But some of his homies were not so lucky. He might have escaped alive that day, but the old block goons had not gotten it back in blood. Now remember when Lil Durk dropped that track, Who Wants Smoke, and he rapped, "Niggas die from pumping gas"? Well, he might have been onto something with Quando Rondo. A year later, on August 19, 2022, Quando got a taste of what Boss Top and King Von's crew experienced when Lil Tim did his thing back in 2020. That day, Quando and his buddy Lil Pal were gassing up at a station in Beverly Grove. Out of nowhere, a black SUV rolled up and 3 guys dressed in black bust out the vehicle and opened fire at them. Quando, who didn't take his foot off the gas, was quick enough to pull out of the gas station. But for his homie Lil Pal, it was a different story. By the time paramedics arrived, it was too late. Lil Pab had kicked the bucket. Lil Pab's passing hit Quando hard, so hard that he decided to put the gangster life on ice and lay down his flag. He hit Instagram with some deep thoughts. It's time for me to spend time to myself and free myself from a lot of people. My main man's gone and a lot more shit. I'm cool on a lot of shit. I'm living life how I want to live life. And he was clear about it. Lil Pab's passing was the reason he quit the gangster life. Over years gone by, but the memory of Lil Pab still weighs heavy on Quando Rondo. He paid tribute recently, posting a pic of Lil Pab with the words, "Today marks a year. It done been so many tears, R.I.P. Big Bruh." As the streets continue to spin their tales, one thing remains certain: the hood never forgets. Lil Timm's twist of fate might have set him free, but mysteries linger like shadows in the night in these dark streets. The question still hangs heavy. Who smoked King Von's pack? All the juicy details of all rap gangsters and drama drop on this channel, so subscribe and stay tuned, y'all. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and turn on post notifications.